Looks like the Ford Anglia duo are about to go as well. Now, as you know, we're both quite fond of old tools here at OCC HQ. For the princely sum of £3, the John Bull puncture repair outfit. Welcome to All Classic Car. The standard is out today because today, Sunday morning, a slightly overcast Sunday morning, it's the Cheshire Run, a run for vintage and classic lorries that starts off in Cheshire, pops over to the border in Shropshire, which is where we are today, and they meet up at the Midway Cafe just over yonder in the distance, and then they head back again. So we're going to hopefully watch some of them arrive, and then we'll wander over there and have a look at see what's parked up while they're having their bacon sandwich and cup of tea. There is a big event over in North Wales today, so we're not quite sure how many vehicles will still be taking part here on the Cheshire Run, but we're hopeful that there will still be quite a few despite other shows that are on today. So let's go and have a look and see what's going to come down the road. Dad's here in his MGB. There's a nice Land Rover alongside as well. There's a lovely Series 2 XJ just pulled in as well. Not seen this one before. Vinyl roof. This is a 6-cylinder car. It looks really good around the arches and everywhere that they usually go. Yeah, that's a very clean car. I do like that. It's got the proper big number plates as well. I mean, okay, they wouldn't have been the Perspex number plates, but at least it's the full height because they've got a different shape of number plate on the back of the old Jag. Same on the P5B Rovers. They have quite a large number plate as well. Yeah, certainly a nice one. Tinted windows as well. Anyone who regularly uses the A41 here will recognise this old garage. This place dates to 1928, and I probably will do a video about this place one day. Old Scania coming through. Little 307E van with Anglia in tow. Beautiful old vintage Alvis just turned up. I think we'll have to have a closer look at that. A lovely old Scammell. started to rain. Lovely old Kenworth here. Huge recovery truck. A big old American wrecker. What a great looking thing that is. Well, despite the rain, we've still got a few lorries coming along. British Road Services. Don't they look fantastic? Old Leyland, ERF. Another ERF. Beautiful. Seddon Atkinson, is that? Or just Atkinson, yeah. Bond Minicar. And a Foden. Yeah, it's getting properly damp now, but oh wow, beautiful AEC. The Scammell. The Bedford CF. Scania. Another Atkinson. Ford D series. Well, this weather's looking a bit set in, but let's go and have a quick look at this Alvis before it goes. Just been having a quick chat with the owner. This is a 1931 Alvis 1260 Beetleback. Beetleback because of the shape of the rear body, as you can see. But yeah, it's a pretty soggy, horrible day. There's been a few other lorries go past that I didn't manage to capture on film. So I think the weather combined with the Llandudno Transport Festival, Llandudno Transport Festival, I think that's probably depleted numbers a little bit. But never mind, there's been some interesting cars here today. What a beautiful old Alvis that is. That's just fantastic. I do love the little step, the Alvis step. Wow. Lovely original oldie worldy seats as well, just how you like to see them. I think I need to shut my quarter light. There we go. So next to the old garage are the remains of this old hotel. It's probably not quite as old as it looks, but it's still got a few years under its belt. But it's not been open for a long time, and it's slowly disintegrating. Every now and again you hear of plans to possibly put houses on here, which kind of makes sense. I think last time I looked here these doorways were still open, so someone has boarded it up. But yeah, there's loads of holes in the roof, windows missing, all looking pretty derelict now, overgrown. Oh, we've wandered across the road. Oh, there's a lovely Healey here. Austin-Healey 3000. Or is it? No, it's a 106. Silly me. Either way, beautiful car. Terrible weather. This has got the tonneau cover in place. That makes a lot of sense. I saw a TR3A driving past earlier as well with his roof down. So I guess as long as you keep moving, you won't get too wet. But it's a horrible, soggy day today. Right, well, let's have a look then. Dedication to the cause. It's chucking it down with rain.
I'm here too.
And you're here as well. But yeah, beautiful Bedford TK. It's quite a late one and an A plate. A Scania. We saw some of these driving past before, but not all of them. So I wanted to pop over here and just make sure I didn't miss anything out. This lovely old Atkinson Gardner 180 diesel engine in the livery of Ambrose Wood & Son, established 1910, engineering contractors in Bollington, Cheshire. Aren't they beautiful? Just beautifully turned out. The effort that goes into keeping these old girls in such wonderful condition. And look at that ERF. Wowzers. That's an articulated with trailer. And again, proper old sign writing. Ooh, it's so wet. Yeah, so you got the fifth wheel coupling hidden away under there. The BRS Leyland. British Road Services, of course, back, I don't know what the dates were, 1950, something like that. The road haulage was nationalised here in the UK, and hence the creation of BRS. What a beautiful old lorry that is. But we saw this Scamel coming in, and I've got to have another look at that. What a great old girl that is. No concessions to comfort, warmth. It's just a very basic lorry, but beautiful as well. I'm guessing it's twin steer with those axles at the front there, but yeah. What a beautiful old Survivor that is.
That would sound nice.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's sort of wartime era or thereabouts, judging by these tiny little economy lamps on the front, little butler's lamps. There's that FG. Looks like the Austin-Healey 106 is disappearing. Good to see the roof still down. The Bowler Wildcat, is it?
Yeah.
There's the Alvis again. There's that fantastic little Bond Minicar we saw driving past before with the roof down as well.
It's a great way of promoting the channel.
Yeah, some brave people around in these open top cars today. What's this badge on here? Bonds to Bled, 1959 and 2019. Isn't that great? Proper tailored tonneau cover as well. The D-Series recovery truck just driving out over there. Let's see if we can get a quick snap of him. Looks like the Ford Anglia duo are about to go as well. So we've got the 65 Anglia 105E and a little Thames 307E alongside it a little bit earlier. What a great pair they are. I think I'll have to get a photo of them. AC Mercury here on the G plates of late 1960s. There's that beautiful little Albion coach parked up from 1965. Looks older than its registration somehow, but yeah, what a beauty that is. I love the interior. You can just see the trimmed seats inside. Isn't that wonderful? What a great old thing that is. That's just such character. Lovely, lovely thing. Albion from Scotland. And here we've got an early Bedford TK. This has got the whisker cab, because the early TKs have these sort of, what they call, like cat's whiskers on the front, and the badge in the middle and the separate lettering. The later ones were different than that. This has got a flatbed body on it. There's that little BMC FG. These used to be badged either as Austin or Morris. This one's badged as BMC. They made them for quite a long time. The rain is continuing to fall, much to my joy and delight. Over the back there, a Scammell, and there's that Bedford CF. Look at that magnificent Foden dumper truck on the back here. Wow. Isn't that just fantastic? Yeah, that must be a real hoot. The work that's gone into that is just incredible. If you like these kind of videos, please like and subscribe. Leave your comments. Don't forget there is the option of channel membership now. If you see the join button below this video, you'll find out a little bit more about that. Right, let's see what else we can see here. It's a bit of a grotty old day, just look out. But I guess muddy old truck stop like this is just the environment that these lorries, when they were being worked, would have been used to. You know, no posh garages or wonderful storage locations. This was the environment, muddy old truck stops, greasy spooned and so on. This is where they would have spent their working lives. So it seems kind of appropriate that we're looking at these old lorries in just the sort of environment where they would have been used, not just high days and holidays and sunny days out on a Sunday afternoon. It's just miserable weather all times of year, all weather conditions. And again, look at this lovely ERF. Miserable, horrible day, but a beautiful old lorry back in a muddy old truck stop car park. What could be more perfect than that, really? Enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
Great little Series 1 Land Rover over here. Very chunky tyres. Yeah, that's beauty, that. I like that. What do we have here? An old Velocette motorcycle. Ooh, fantastic. My late uncle was very, very into his Velocettes. And for a time we had his old Velocette Venom. This one's quite a small capacity. It's, I'm guessing, a 350 perhaps. It's got a disc brake on the front, so that wouldn't be original. It's clearly had a few modifications. I wonder if it's got an electric starter on it as well, because they were a bit of a pig to start. They were very low geared, the kick starters on these, and there was a real technique to making them run. I'm just wondering if this one's had a conversion possibly, just to make it a little bit more usable. But yeah, isn't that nice? Shame about the day, the weather. It's just, whoa, it's a grim old day. Damp, soggy and horrible. And the little old Alvis is heading off now, I think. Just been speaking to the owner of that one. He's looking to restore an old garage and set it up for sort of vintage car meets and so on, so I'll definitely be keeping in touch with him. So it'll be interesting to see what develops on that side of things. Right, let's wander back across the road to the garage and to where the Standard and a few of those old car owners are parked up. And of course we walk past the Midway truck stop, a real landmark in the area this is. And I'm guessing that must date back to the 1950s. Just the sort of place where many of these old lorries would have pulled up outside for a quick fry-up of a morning. Yeah, it's a very historic place in its own right, that is, and very, very popular even now. That gorgeous old Scammell's on the way. Yes, twin steering front axles. Poor old Standard and MGB are looking a bit wet this morning. Well, there we go, we're safely back at home. It's later the same day, we've just had some lunch. Actually, the weather is a lot better back at home. Apparently, according to Mrs. OCC, there's been very little rain here at all this morning, so it was only us over in not so sunny Shropshire that suffered with the wet stuff this morning, but never mind. The little plucky Standard got us there safely and safely back home again, so that's the main thing, safely and reliably, because you can never guarantee these things with these old cars. You never quite know what's going to happen. There's a little Anglia, we had that one out the other evening. We had a very nice little run out in that. So what else is new here in the garage at OCC HQ? We've still been having a few little fueling issues with the Dodge pickup. This is the repro pump. I've taken it back off again. We were out in it the other evening running this pump, and we had a failure to proceed moment and coasted to a halt. We managed to find somewhere safe to coast to a halt into, and I had the other AC pump, the new old stock pump that I mentioned before, that was in the back, so I swapped that over. And that pumped a treat, unlike this one, but fuel was pouring out of it, so I'm not quite sure what's happening there. So I did take this apart on the side of the road to see if I could reconnect the linkage inside, because again, the linkage has come apart in here. So the operating lever, this thing here, was just doing nothing at all. It was just not operating the diaphragm inside there, so there was no pumping, no pushing of fuel, etc, etc. So we were kind of stuffed. So we had one broken repro pump, and we had one new old stock pump which pumped but leaked everywhere, so there was not much we could do there. So it was on the phone to Mrs. OCC. She came out with the A-frame and the Jeep and towed us back home again. So we've clearly got a little bit of investigation work to do there. So more news on that front as it happens, but I have just this morning borrowed a few boxes of old fuel pump parts, so I'm hopeful that I might be able to build up something that will finally prove to be reliable in service. Fingers crossed anyway. Another little job done on the Ford, which is something I mentioned a little while ago, was to re-torque the cylinder head nuts. Because I know a few months before I bought this off a friend of mine, he did actually swap the head gasket on it, and I thought, well, maybe, because you have to re-torque them down again, maybe that hasn't been done or not, so I wasn't quite sure. So I went round them all, and they all did need a little bit of a nipping up, so that's another little job, crossed off the many other jobs that are on the to-do list here at OCC. Now, as you know, we're both quite fond of old tools here at OCC HQ, and I thought I'd have a quick chat about this one. This one turned up in an antique centre just a few weeks ago. It's a Kismet Duplex Master foot pump, and these are incredible. Apparently there's like some sort of dual acting piston arrangement inside here, and these were rated up to 300 psi, which is pretty incredible just for a regular foot pump like this. It's a real clever bit of kit, beautifully made, as all these old foot pumps are, which is why I'm so fond of them. But this one has an extra special little feature, because if we have a look at that little brass plaque at the front there, you'll see AM, that is Air Ministry from the Second World War. Apparently these were used not perhaps for pumping up the tyres on Spitfires, Hurricanes, other RAF aircraft, that kind of thing, although they could well have been used for that. But apparently a little bit of online research suggests that these were used for testing some of the hydraulic systems in aircraft that were due in for service, perhaps battle damage, repair, that kind of thing. Hence the use of these. And if these will get up to sort of 250, 300 psi, that makes this a very useful bit of kit. Now I'm thinking perhaps the mechanisms, the systems that operated the undercarriage, perhaps that kind of thing on World War II aircraft. Perhaps you know more about this sort of thing, because I don't know a great deal about it at all, but I just thought that was a really interesting thing. I know these Kismet Duplex Master foot pumps are nice things in their own rights, but very few of them are stamped up with the Air Ministry markings. So when I saw this one, I thought, I know what that's for, and I made sure I didn't put it down again once I picked it up. Other versions of these have AM actually cast in to the base piece there. There's nothing on this particular one. So there are different variations apparently of these old Kismet foot pumps, but I thought, I really need to buy that, because it's a great addition to the small but nice nonetheless collection of foot pumps that we've got here at OCC. But the aviation link as well just makes it that extra little bit special. So I think they'll probably put this in Big Dodge, and it can live in there, because of course Big Dodge, when it was first built in 1940 and 41, started out life as an RAF aircrew bus. So this would have been driving around bomber airfields in the Second World War, delivering the crews to the aircraft, the Lancaster bombers, that kind of thing. So anything that's stamped up Air Ministry is pretty appropriate to keep with the big old truck. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's just a quick update from the garage here at home. Like I say, this one is currently out of service just while I sort out the fuel pump arrangements. But we'll soon get that sorted out, I'm sure. Little Morris, who have been tinkering with this a little bit lately, I do sometimes have thoughts about maybe just getting rid of a lot of work and things and replacing them with just one thing that actually works. But we'll see. I don't know. There's not going to be any imminent news on that particular score. Little Anglia, like I say, this was out recently after doing up the head nuts, the torque on those. Next job though is going to sort out that Dodge fuel pump, tinker with this, do a little bit on the Renault, and just keep an eye on the Standard, but that seems to be running okay at the moment. Just as a reminder that collecting car memorabilia needn't be super expensive, I found this morning for the princely sum of £3. The John Bull puncture repair outfit. The John Bull Rubber Company Limited, Evington Valley Mills, Leicester. What a great little thing that is. We've got one or two of these dotted around, but they're just lovely little things. So obviously John Bull did tyres, and they made these puncture repair kits, and this great little tin, beautifully embossed. You can just see that there. These are such lovely things. All different companies made these, loads of different ones to choose from. So it's a really affordable collectible that don't take up much room. You could do a lot worse than collect old puncture repair tins, because they're just great little things. This, I'm guessing, is probably 1920s, 1930s, something like that. Princely sum of £3. Bought that this morning. If we have a look on the back here, this is a bit of fun. So it says, if you can see this, ride John Bull tyres, and you will have practically no use for this outfit. So they're actually saying, buy our tyres, and you probably won't even need this. It's that our tyres are that great, you're probably not likely to even get a puncture at all. And that's just fantastic. How cool is that? And it's metal as well. You've got a little press here thing, so you have to press there, and the lid pops open to reveal the contents. And there we go, there are the contents. Not original. Well, I say not original, this isn't. This is a really early Dunlop tyre patch glue. Clearly quite old, but look at it, it's got a metal cap. I don't think I've ever seen one of those before, so that must be 1920s, 1930s, something like that. So it's not original, but it's contemporary. You've got instructions on how to change or to fix your punctured tyre on the inside of the lid there. Just about see that. That is John Bull. I'm guessing this is a little container with chalk in, so that when you've put your patch on your repaired inner tube, it doesn't stick to the tyre when you put it back on. So that's nice and original to the little tin. Oh, how cool is that? That's great. John Bull tyres. And here, another well-used tin of cement, puncture repair cement, Chemico. That's really, really old. I think I'm going to see if I can unpeel this a bit, because it's been rolled up for many, many decades. Let's see if we can unpeel it and just reveal better what the legend and logo on it looks like. Okay, there we go. So there's the Dunlop rubber solution unwound, complete with its metal top still. Yeah, really very, very nice indeed. And there's the Chemico one. Like I say, looking at that, that's got to be 20s, 30s. It's not going to be any newer than that. It's a little bit delicate, the condition. But, yeah, very, very neat. Never seen those before. A few instructions on the back on how to use it. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you those quickly. £3 bought that, and again, a lovely little display item for a cabinet or here in the Garage of Delights. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this short video covering the Cheshire Run this morning. There wasn't a huge number of lorries this time, certainly not as big as turnouts in previous years, but like I say, a clash with a big event in North Wales this weekend, and also the horrible weather forecast really put pay to any chances of a large turnout of lorries, but there were still some interesting things turning up and driving past as we watched from the old garage across the way from the Midway truck stop. Anyway, that's that. Thank you very much for watching. Please check out the rest of the channel, like, subscribe, comment, all the usual things, and there'll be more videos along very, very soon. So bye for now.